So this morning, when I woke up, I cried because I felt sad about some interactions with some people. And that sadness turned into a feeling of anger, but a positive anger, like an action anger, like to do something about it. It felt very pleasant, that next movement. The movement to change it and to do something about it. When I was younger and I was into spirituality, I used to believe that what I've described to you, those feelings and then that movement to try and change it, was going against spirituality. So what it would do was it would create a person who wouldn't act as much, would hold back on action, because I thought that I had to accept certain things in life and this was going to get me enlightened. I had to not try to avoid those circumstances happening and that would get me enlightened. Just so it's implied a lot is the implication by a lot of speakers, not that I'm against those speakers, but just it's slightly different here, which doesn't make me right and them wrong, or doesn't make them right and me wrong. But what is implied by a lot of speakers is that you only have positive events and positive feelings happening in your life, and that's the goal. The goal is to get to as much positivity as possible. And for me, the way I see spirituality is different. I see it as full of every part of life. The grotesque, the beauty, the ugly, the sad, the kind, the compassion, the anger, every aspect of it. A total embracing of all phenomena. I used to use spirituality, and maybe still have been using it after that awakening, to be inactive. Because that's the way this body-mind mechanism was conditioned, was to be inactive. To be passive. That's not spirituality. That's not what spirituality is to me. Spirituality is being full of everything, holding the growth and the destruction evenly, the birth and the death evenly, the happiness and the sadness evenly, and seeing that who you are is this still presence that's in the center of everything. and that freedom isn't about a certain position in the flow, a certain experience in the flow, but it's about everything. For sure, the human changes in waking up, but that's an endless process to integrate this subject more and more. There is no perfectly enlightened human, because that's an impossible thing. The human's job, everything's job in this world, is to evolve. But enlightenment is in the center of it all, or the non-enlightenment is the center of it all. And that for sure is going to affect the human in a positive way. The human can no longer hate, but it's not going to make the human enlightened. It's going to make the human human, because that's what it's meant to be. And it seems that from waking up and that shift, there is an evolving of that human, so it's more in line with that, which is really beautiful. But it's never ending. The brain can infinitely grow, behavior could infinitely grow, change can infinitely happen. There's infinite possibilities. Psychology and therapy and reconditioning the person seems like a necessary thing to be able to hear non-duality. If the person is too distressed or too busy, it seems like it's impossible to hear this presence. But we get this idea in our head that we have to become unconditioned or perfectly conditioned. This obsessive mentality of getting to an end, getting to a finish point. It's beautiful, the therapies and the conditioning, but don't expect that to lead you to enlightenment, because there is no you. There is only what's happening in presence, in that alive, boundless freedom. Okay.